This draft is awkward. We have two side lanes that require a lot of attention in Renekton and Callista Thresh versus Lucian Nami, which is a very volatile matchup. Whereas top lane, I also want to win versus Kayle. So in this case, I'd rather my Nidalee pathed to bot lane because I trust myself to play weak side better. Looks like my Nidalee is going to path to top side as she's starting bot, which is a shame, and I hope my bot lane doesn't int, but they probably will. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fake leash and generate 25 Fury to start the lane with. I will start W and auto W the red buff to cancel his auto and get 15 Fury. I should have autoed the Blast Cone to get 5 Fury, and then I can get another auto in here when the Patience bar of the red buff runs out and can't auto-attack me back. So I'll auto-attack it, it won't attack me back. And that way I start the lane with full health and 25 Fury, with the bonus that Kayle maybe thinks that I leashed because I have Fury, and that Nidalee's pathing bot and won't expect any heavy trades or dive. Skip ahead. Auto W. Forgot the Blast Cone, obviously. And here I'll auto-attack it as the Patience bar runs out to get a free hit in. Unfortunately, I mess it up. I mistime it. Okay. It looks like Kayle is probably leashing, as she has not started in lane. She could still be in the bushes, but it's very likely she's leashing as the enemy bot lane is starting bot. That means Jarvan is pathing down bot side, which means I want to make the lane volatile and make her diveable, right? The two plays I can probably look for are a cheese level 2 play, which people surprisingly still fall for in Grandmaster, or a 4-wave crash into a dive with the 100 to 0. So, if the level 2 cheese does not work out, then I will probably default to the 4th wave crash. The reason I do a 4th wave crash here, and why it's my plan, is because full clearing champs like Nidalee, by the time their clear is done, usually the 4th wave crash is in time for a dive. That's why you categorize the junglers, like for example Nidalee is a full clearing jungler, right? This is very general, but that's the idea. So, the problem I have right now, and the reason why it's difficult to trade at level 2, is because the enemy Kayle has bone plating, which is what you should take into Renekton. It makes it very hard to trade because it negates your W. I cannot knock the bone plating off before the trade because I have W and not Q. This is the problem with W stop and getting the 25 Fury. So, ideally, to get a level 2 trade off, I need to knock off the bone plating before the level 2 trade. But if I can't, then the level 2 trade becomes much, much harder, and my level 2 trade actually just ends up really negated. So I'm level 2 now. And I know that this trade won't amount to much, so I'm hesitant to do it. If I do level 2 trade here, I'm going to AoE away from the wave, which means I won't E through the wave because that pushes it too fast. Remember, my backup plan is to crash the 4th wave, in which case I cannot trade so much because it will push the wave too much, right? So I either have to trade away from the wave and not hit as many minions in the wave, or just not trade at all. So this is a very important concept of using your AoE away to push slowly. So here I will E to her, only using one minion rather than Eing through them all. And that way I gap close, but unfortunately, bone plating counters Renekton really hard, denying this trade, which would have done a lot more damage as I was empowered W with PTA. So, it is now the 3rd wave, and it looks like I really cannot solo kill her anymore, right? So it would be much more consistent now to facilitate a dive, as I see my jungler finishing a full clear very soon, right? And what that means is I can crash the next wave, very likely, and ping her, and she'll come to dive, and we can dive the Kayle 100 to 0. Skip ahead. So, slow pushing, slow pushing, slow pushing. Not pushing too fast. Not tunneling on trades. Not just AoE trading to try and just chunk her. There's no need because she can die from 100 to 0 in a dive. I will stack up to 100 Fury to make sure I have enough Fury to dive her with. I ping Nidalee so that she knows she's notified. And then I crash it as she's coming up. So this is a very important concept of timing your crashes with events that are happening. And in this case, it is Nidalee that is topside. And because of this, the dive is free. Fortunately, Kayle misplays, but it happens. She should flash earlier to get out of range of my empowered W. I want to kill this wave. And that is because the next wave is going to be a cannon wave. Same over here. And the enemy wave is going to be a cannon wave, which means if Kayle TPs back and then pushes and crashes the next wave, the cannon will stay alive long enough for me to run over here and catch it. So I want to recall in time with cannon waves, so I do not miss as much. Now we recall. Let's see what I buy. I purchased double longsword refill pot because it's broken, Blink Ward to facilitate ganks because she cannot contest the vision, as well as double longsword for Prowler's Claw because Prowler's Claw will be the most effective item in skirmishes post 14 minutes, which is when about you complete your first item. Can be earlier, can be later. If I'm fed, it'll be earlier. But the point is, come mid-game, when plate's fallen, I'm grouping more. At 14 minutes, I want the most impactful item in a skirmish, right? And in this case, it's going to be Prowler's Claw, because I will probably want to kill the Lucian, who's the fed enemy at the moment. And he has ranged and I need Prowler's Claw to kill him. Otherwise, I would go Bork. I now catch this wave. Because it was a cannon wave, and I crashed the last one. If I did not crash the last one, if I did not kill the last wave, I would have missed minions. Now, what do I do with this wave? I see that I'm level 4, and I see I'm about to hit level 5. I see it's 4 minutes 40, right? So I always think about, do I slow push this wave? What do I do with this wave? And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow push, right, the next 2 or 3 waves to crash with level 6. Because I know that the level 6 wave is at 5 minutes 30. The 5 minutes 30 cannon wave. And I know I can slow push until then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow push and then kill the cannon wave and dive, as I'll be level 6 and the enemy Kayle will be level 4. I'm not just going to push this wave mindlessly. I'm going to crash with events. So in this case, it'll be me hitting level 6 and having a huge advantage to dive her. So if I skip through, I'm just slow pushing. So I know the next wave will be the 530 cannon wave, and I'll also ping. Here's the 530 cannon wave, and now I can dive her solo. I don't even need Nidalee. Because I know she has no flash, and if I just walk up to her in W, there is no winning outcome for Nidalee. Because either she, not Nidalee, sorry, there's no winning outcome for Kayle, because she either just dies, or she has to leave this huge wave. And top laners are too stubborn to leave the wave. So, as I said, I am now level 6, and she has only just turned level 5. Right? That's why I slow push this wave, to time it with the wave 9 crash, which is the wave at 530. And that gives you level 6. I go early, but I don't care, because there's no way this is mess upable, right? I just give her the kill, tank the tower. Now, what I really want to do here, to snowball this even further, right? Because you never just want to recall, right? You never want to recall if you can do more, right? What I want to do here is I want to push my lead further. And to do that, I need to know where Jarvan is, or where anyone is, right? I need to ask who can stop me. And because the play I want to make is to proxy, and to stop Kayle from coming back to lane, right? She will walk through here to try and go and soak XP, right? But I want to stop here, draw a line in the sand, and not let her pass, right? But to do that, I need to know who can stop me, and that is either going to be Jarvan, Ahri, or likely Nami, right? I see Nami, so that's one of them down, right? Nami cannot stop me. I do not see Ahri, so that's a big question mark. And I do not see Jarvan. So this is too much for me, right? If I do not see where everyone is that can stop me, then I do not want to do it, right? So I go back to recall. Oh, wait, I see Jarvan on Dragon, right? Now is only one possibility. I'm going to do it. Because the potential reward here is very huge. I could zone her off of consistent plates. Consistent minion waves, right? By not letting her past. So I'm going to proxy now. Kayle attempts to walk past me. I know there's nothing she can do. I ward this bush so that she cannot kite me using using the bush. I'm cancelling my altars. She's obviously very tilted, still trying to fight me. And all the meanwhile, even if I lose this, look how many waves she's losing. But I never lose this because she's level 5. She's like, Ignite Threshold, Ignite her and leave. Now, what I'm going to do is that since it's 7 minutes, I'm not going to take this tower. I'm going to leave this tower up until about 13 minutes 50, take it then. And in the meantime, I'm going to leave it on one plate and keep letting it kill minions to snowball my lead and deny her more.